Hi there, this is Jenny Yetto from the Pixie Post, and I'm back with Card of the Day for March 17th, 2019. First off, I want to wish everybody a happy St. Patrick's Day. I know not everybody celebrates it, but for those of you who have the little touch of the Irish in them, definitely appreciate this holiday. I actually don't have any green to wear, which is kind of sad, so I have to go to work today, so maybe I'll find something green in the meantime. If I do, I'll report back to you guys. Anyway, I'm going to read the excerpt from the booklet that comes with this deck as usual. But as you can see from the card I drew today, it's a kind of a complex one, but an interesting lesson. It says DNA, which means karma. And in the booklet, it says aspects of your soul entered your primitive physical self long before you had begun to take form. While the DNA that you inherited from your biological parents has a physical component, it also has a soul pattern that came together in the creation of you. You are predisposed to follow the karmic dictates of this patterning to some extent. Yet, as you evolve in your consciousness and expand the light of awareness, you can make choices that shift and modify this ancestral design. This is one of those times. You can feel the tug of your soul that is both ancient and karmic, yet you also recognize the persistent and loving communication from your higher self that contradicts the more familiar solutions before you. The choice is up to you. But know that every time you heed the guidance of your higher self, no matter what etheric or physical form it takes, human consciousness is elevated. In a sense, it becomes a choice between destiny and fate. Yeah, it's pretty complex. Basically, the energy in this card is saying that all of us have actually many parts to ourselves, but the major parts are what we call our ego, which is our human existence, our human way of thinking. Like our emotions will be dictated through the ego sometimes. We make decisions with the ego. But then there's also our higher self, which is part of our soul. And it's hard to explain. That part is like our intuition, if you will. It's something that, like, if you're trying to figure out a solution to a problem, you'll weigh the pros and cons to that decision. And it's interesting because if you take a breath and meditate or just clear your mind for a moment, if you really listen closely within yourself, you'll find out the answer one way or another. And it's usually all in the heart space and your intuition, which basically interprets to your higher self, your soul being. And right now it's telling you for any decisions you have to make, whether it's immediate or long-term, weigh the pros and cons, listen to what your higher self is telling you. Sometimes it'll coincide with what you're already thinking, so you're on the right path. Other times you might be thinking, for example, you're trying to decide whether to talk to a friend or family member again after having a disagreement. This is just for example. And your ego is saying, oh no, I was right and I really shouldn't, even try, and it's not worth it because I know I was right. And your higher self might tell you to look beyond that, beyond what your feelings are. It's like, what is the situation? What am I supposed to learn from this? Is there a point to maybe reach out and talk to this person without having that ego part in the way? If not, how do I move on? How do I learn something from this and learn that lesson and move on? So it could be a lot of complex decisions to make, and I'm not saying it's black or white or there's any way right or wrong about it. It's just trusting yourself, trusting that you will make the right decision without relying on the ego. And I hope this makes sense. I'm not sure if I explained it right. If I didn't clearly enough, let me know, and I'll be more than glad to elaborate a little more in the next video. It's just a very complex message, but yet it's simple at the same time, which is kind of a weird one. But we're all born with knowledge in our genes and our DNA, like it says, and some habits die hard throughout the generations. And some of us are actually trying to break the chains, break the cycles that are negative in our ancestors and past generations. So that's another path that some people might be traveling right now, and just to break those chains and try to grow and evolve and move on and break the patterns of abuse or some kind of mistreatment or bad decision making, or just, it could be anything. It doesn't have to be anything major. It can be something little that you need to work on. So, and we all have something we need to work on. No one's above that, whether people say that or not. We're not above that, because we'll never stop growing and learning and evolving into better versions of ourselves. Because we stop doing that, well, then there's an issue. So, anyway, that's the complex, interesting card reading for today. Again, this is going to be the last daily video card reading. I'm going to go back to text. I'm also going to start the I can't think today. I'm still trying to wake up. The weekly card readings. It's going to be a little different from this, but in that video I'll explain how I'll do it. And I'm also going to be getting a new card deck soon. I'm not sure if it'll arrive by tomorrow, but if it doesn't, I will use it in the next card drawing. So, I'm getting alerted. Anyway, I hope you guys have an awesome day. Have a wonderful last day of the weekend. I have to go to work, but later on I'll post another day 2 of 777. Oh my goodness. Maybe I'll get tougher in these challenges. I'm not real good at the push-ups, but I'm enjoying it. It's fun. Anyway, before I go off on a tangent, you guys have a great day, and namaste. Love to my esteemed community. You guys are awesome, and I enjoy every minute of doing these videos for you guys. Have a wonderful day, and take care.